Welcome lads and lasses to Dan Ventures Out. Today we're at Chipping Norton Lake. Checking out the parklands here, checking out the historical sites as well, checking out some of the newer developments made to the reserve. Join me for this awesome adventure into one of Western Sydney's greatest walking tracks. And just a sneaky reminder to like, comment and subscribe to Dan Ventures Out to see more from me. Without further ado, let's get to it. We have made it to South Park, the southern point of Chipping Norton Lake Reserve here. I'm going to start our adventure. That way. Already found a seat. Much too early to sit on it though. So we're going to be taking a trail or a track here, all the way from the South Park here, all the way around the Chipping Norton Lake, and then down the back side of our reserve here as well. Should take us past some cool facilities, some playgrounds, picnic areas, as well as a few beaches and other cool points along the lake here. Now I've only just started my walk here and already it's looking quite nice, lovely and green. I don't see any rubbish around, which is a nice plus. Oh, we've got a fella out here, he's doing the mowing right now. We've got the water just through these trees here. Doesn't look like we can get down to the water there just yet, but we will get down there very soon to have a look. Well, there he goes. He stopped for a moment to let me go past, so appreciate that, mate. In saying that, I am going to annoy him here and go right across where he's just cut, because I saw that we can get to the river here. There we go. Oh, got trees that way. So this is our old faithful George's River right here, and this goes through to Chipping Norton Lake and past it as well, which we will see a little bit of today, which will be super cool. The waterways all link up around our area here, which is pretty damn cool. This is a nice kind of area here. Actually looks pretty decent to fish from, if I'm being honest. Now it is really overcast today. I picked today again, like normal, as a cooler day to go out walking. Although the sun is starting to beam on the back of my neck through the clouds, so I'm going to whack on some sunscreen because I did forget. I'll borrow this seat here. You're probably wondering why I'm bothering to put sunscreen on a cloudy day. Well, even when it's cloudy, this poor soul and his neck does like to get burnt. So, especially on the back of my neck, I get burned. So I'm going to do that and do my face now too. Rightio. Sunscreen on. You might also notice I have a jacket. That is because there's a chance of rain a little bit later this afternoon, and this is a waterproof jacket. This out here is South Park. Obviously you can see it has some soccer fields, other training grounds. It had a little shed and looks like canteen, possibly toilets up on the hill as well. I've already seen heaps of chairs compared to our previous walks where you might see a chair and a toilet every 10 k's. Well, here we have our first place of interest, West Lake Point. It's the place where the Georges River meets with the Chipping Norton Lake. A little dingy looking, as you can see, so we'll see how far we can go. But there's a little bit of a track, so, oh yeah, there's the water's edge. And then we've got water through the trees on the right as well. Doesn't look like it's a very well walked path up this end. There's spider webs around here. And we'll know soon enough if it's worth going to the point at all. Not too shabby, you know. Quite nice, in fact. There we go. So that is the Georges River there. And technically, all of this you can see here to the right is also part of the Georges River. And just on the point there, there's a little jetty. And it's not far from there where the lake starts. Well, it kind of makes sense for this part of the bay to be the lake as well. But on the maps, it definitely is a little bit further over. So, fitty on that, whether that's true or not. But you know what? That's a nice view there. You know what, thinking on it again, this part of the river or lake here is probably called West Lake. Same as the point here, West Lake Point. That makes sense. Several chairs in amongst the trees here. I presume these are for watching the games being played. We also had a few sets of bins around already. I've only gone a couple 100 meters, to be quite honest. Along the actual track, we've taken a few detours. It's funny that it's so much more well maintained than the other paths and parks we've been along. Although we haven't made it to the end, so we'll see how we go. There's a whole lot of construction going on along here. See any information on what they're actually doing here? Oh, and just up here we have a play area. Well, there's a lot of people here. So we have, I believe this is Angle Park up here. Ooh, something smells very bad. Oh dear. Ooh. I was just gonna say we have nice tables and chairs, bathroom facilities here. We've got barbecues over there as well, but it looks like this bin might be the culprit here. Looks like they haven't emptied that bin in a little while. That's a real shame. And we're gonna be walking along Angle Park, get to a boat ramp. I had said earlier that this area looks really well maintained and nicely updated, but damn. These tables and chairs are dinted. I'm not sure if you can quite tell. There's holes in it. It's rusty, the paint's gone. Somebody's been burning on top of barbecues here by the look of that. I'm sure these would be the push to start, fellas. I mean, I believe they are, but these might be the oldest ones I've ever seen. Damn. You know, it's quite interesting. On one side of the road going to the boat ramp, we have what looks like to me a native kind of tree. And then in the middle here, we've got all pine trees and, apologies, some other tree, we'll call it. It looks to me like this area has been custom planted at one point. Interesting. Well, there's your boat ramp here at Chipping Norton. This one's called Angle Park boat ramp. We've got some fellas down here fishing. Good on them. And here's your boat ramp. I also noticed on the way up here, someone's left their car radiator behind. What do you think you're doing? I'm just coming up from where the boat ramp was, and honestly I'm just trying to find my walking path again. I can't seem to find it. I've got the road here, it's a two-way road, but there's not really a space to walk. Got some rainwater. It's been raining quite a bit lately. I noticed this particular section of water here is dyed with a little bit of black. Yeah, I wonder if that's from the charcoal bins around here, or it even looks like some of these trees may have been in a fire in the past? Actually, it really does look like it, especially over that way. Washing away all the burnt debris from previous bushfire around here. I've checked the maps here and I believe I've figured out where my path has gone. It actually didn't go near the boat ramp at all and went through one of the other parks and will now join up with the road just up ahead. Plane. Well, here's a freaky sign. Sharks sighted in the area, no swimming. Okay then. I guess that really backs up the comment section of my last video at Liverpool Wier about bull sharks on the bottom side of the weir, the rivers beyond. Damn, I won't be going swimming here then. Probably not even kayaking. No thank you to a shark. Here we've stopped at Chipping Norton boat shed, and I can see just around the corner here that they are doing sailing today. We've got some sailboats being set up. I would imagine they're going to go out on the water pretty soon. How cool. Going this way down the walking tracks here should take us to Ascot Point. Not only is it quite busy, but there's a few shelters here. Well, here we have Ascot Point, and there are plenty of people out here fishing. Well, this really does look like an awesome place to go fishing and just look out at the water here at the lake and enjoy your time here. Oh, that's a big goose. They really are big, look at him. There really is a lot of birds around here. I remember reading that Chipping Norton Lake has several islands that they use as animal sanctuaries for the birds, so they're completely protected, and it's requested that you don't ever embark on to the islands there. And according to the information I read, there are 50 species of bird that call Chipping Norton Lake home. Awesome. Well, here we can see one of the new facilities they have here. They've set up a little gym equipment, like a fitness center. They also have a brand new play equipment equipped with an awning. And this is just located past the boat shed, which is behind me, and just before you get to the homestead, which is our next place of interest. So this closed off section of the park here is called the homestead, and this was the original place where Chipping Norton got its name. So the property here was purchased by a fellow named William Alexander Long, and Long purchased this land in the 1880s. He then built an equestrian course and raced horses here, and named his ranch Chipping Norton, a name that represented the city in England where he lived and where he had fond memories of. And later on in Australian history, this area became known to be Chipping Norton. Alright, we're just at the back of the homestead here, and opposite that, going that direction, should be a place called Long Point, and this should go out right into the center of the lake. This is our path through. We've got little tracks down into the water here. Another seat just here. Another track down to the water. I'm not too sure if you guys can tell, but it has started raining now. Kind of light, so I haven't donned my jacket yet because it's still pretty humid out. I'll put it on my back in case my bag gets wet. I don't want any of my camera equipment getting wet at all. We had a chair just there, but I was too scared to sit on it because right opposite there looked to be someone's campground. There were clothes strung up between the trees, a little fire pit kind of thing in the middle there. We'll see how I feel about continuing down to the actual point here. Look at that for a view of Chipping Norton Lake. If we can see straight across in the middle here, we have a boat ramp. So just opposite us here is the city of Cabramatta, There's a creek running perpendicular to the boat ramp there called Cabramatta Creek. Anyway, it's getting a little dingy and dark through here, so we'll see how we feel about it. Looks like the water has come up this high in the past. The debris has been stuck between the trees. So here we have one of the islands I was talking about, the sanctuaries that have been made for the birds in the area here. This one is called Duruk Island. So this was made as a sanctuary for the animals. Ducks, geese, birds, all of that. And that was because this area at one point in history, during the 1950s, was used for sand mining. And that started destroying the ecosystems here and the environment here. And in the 1970s, all the land here was requisitioned by the government to be made as a bit of a sanctuary, a bit of a reserve, which is actually quite nice. But that's also the reason why all these areas here formed lakes. That was from the sand mining as well. There are several boat ramps into Chipping Norton Lake here. We've got the one we went to. We also got the one at Cabramatta across the water there. And I'm sure there are more as well. But again though, I don't think I would go out here kayaking. I'm not too fond of meeting a shark in an inflatable kayak. Let's be real. No thank you. We're back on the path here. And I have to say, if you spend your time walking along just the paths, this would be a beautiful walk. It's pretty flat, but it does have some incline for a bit of difficulty. It also takes you through the better parts of the parks around here, which is a big point. I went through one earlier, as you saw, and it was a little run down and a little unkept, but out here it is really nice. Freshly mown, trees are green. Over that direction you have the big car park. You have covered seating as well. There's also a toilet block. Pretty good, I think. Here we can see we have a huge car park, and I imagine during the holidays this will get packed full, maybe on weekends as well. Got a nice little path here lined by trees. Very nice. So one of the better indicators of a well-maintained park to me is how their toilets are, if they are clean and if they are maintained. These ones on the lower end of the spectrum. I've definitely seen better public toilets out there, haven't I? In saying that, just over here, a new version of the push to start barbecues. That look pretty decent, albeit a little bit dirty. We have a seat under shelter. Oh yes, I'm gonna sit on them. Take off my bag. Wow. These are surprisingly comfortable. Well, that was a decent rest. I'm not quite even halfway yet, so we're gonna keep on trekking here. Playing again. You'll find out why soon. Anyway, let's keep on going. Hopefully we see some more cool things. Well, just across the water here we have another boat ramp by the look of that. I believe that should be Cunningham Beach. That area looks very newly developed too. It's really starting to rain now. Well, as you can tell, it really started raining big time now. Rain ain't gonna stop me. It would be nice if we had a happy medium here between the weather lately. It's either been 35 plus degrees or raining for the last few weeks, making it very difficult to record anything. This is called Black Muscat Park. And as you can see, we have a really nice play area over here. Basketball hoops, got a big oval here. It's actually decent. Another nice spot along the water's edge here. Only about 10 meters from the paths, and across the water there we have a place that was called Shearer Wharf. Doesn't look like much of a wharf really, but there does seem to be some parklands over there, which is pretty nice. Again, this is all part of the Georges River, so the Georges River runs through here, but this area is also known as Floyd Bay. Yep, got rid of the jumper already, so I'm just gonna have to get wet. It is what it is. So I'll put this on my back again so that it covers my bag. Really is a nice place to go for a walk, you know. I've seen many of people come along here so far today. In the middle of the rain, I don't mind. It's still worth coming along this walk. So I think that's a testament to how good the walking tracks are. Even if the facilities fall short in a few places, walking tracks are nice. Well, there you go. Apparently if you do catch fish here, you should not eat it anyways. I wonder if that's because it is connected to the waterways like in Saltpan Creek, like in Simo's Beach. Oh, the plane went past too. So according to further research on the reserve here, it is managed by Liverpool City Council like the previous areas we've looked at the Wier at Liverpool, Casula Parkland. But one thing it mentions specifically is that Liverpool, Fairfield and Canterbury City Councils all help to maintain the sanctuary that is Chipping Norton Lake. So they help with maintaining the islands, for example, out in the waterways, and other parts of the park here as well. So I wonder if that is partially why the areas out here are a little cleaner, a little more well maintained, that Liverpool City Council is getting assistance to do so. Would explain it. So just here you can see a little creek between two land masses. Apparently this landmass here is actually an island, Coot Island. Apparently just through there should be Liverpool Golf Course, which is right near Henry Lawson Drive. Looks like just up ahead here we have another park, or what you might just call a massive field. And this is called Heron Park. I imagine heron as in the bird. And look at that, another plane going past. I'm almost able to tell you, keep watching. Looks like I scared off a pelican, sorry mate. I'm just coming to have a look at the beach here. Well, there's some fancy expensive houses over there, isn't it? They've got their own boat ramps, all of them. I like this little beach. Well, here's something interesting about this stretch of water here. Apparently it's called Duruk Bay, as in the Aboriginal people. There were only two Aboriginal people that inhabited Chipping Norton Lake, one of which were the D-A-R-U-G, the Darug people, and the others were the Tharawal people, T-H rather than D. I'm really enjoying the walk here at Chipping Norton Lake. Not just because that it's, you know, nice and close to the water, the walking tracks are quite easy to walk. I like the history that you can see along the way, especially the homestead itself. That's really cool. Building from 140 years ago that really is a placeholder in the history of Chipping Norton here. Literally named after the homestead. Really cool. Plane. Coming up on a little bridge. Well, opposite us here we have a seafood restaurant. That is Kentucky Reserve, and they have a little boat ramp there and a nice looking little pier. And there's a fella out there fishing, two of them out there fishing. Well, I was hoping to tell you about these planes overhead and show you at the same time However, it looks like we're not going to get close enough to. So, all the little biplanes that we're seeing above are going towards Bankstown Airport. Oh, and jets apparently. Bankstown Airport is just over there, a couple hundred meters away, just past Henry Lawson Drive. The path just randomly ends here. A tiny little dirt track to go along instead. Oh, I hear bellbirds. Just like at the bellbird track near Casula Station. Must be a little power station. Ooh. Or a sewerage one. Oh damn. Oh, that smells. More of these bushes with purple flowers. And I know now from one of my subscribers telling me that this is actually an invasive plant that goes around taking all the nutrients from other native species of plants. That is a shame, because they are kind of pretty. Well, here I have a split. I've got a road as well as a very small walking track that you probably can't even see that way. According to my maps, I'm going down this small track towards the last bit of parkland along this walk. Although, after going this far, I would say you'd probably stop near the area not too far from Heron Park. I think up till there the walking paths are really nice. These parts here, not so much. But we'll see when we get to the very end of the park. Careful as you walk here. We do have running water here. Look at that. They used to have a rail on both sides, but one side's broken off. Oh, there's another rail over there. Alright, let me sneak on through this. Oh, muddy. This is actually quite a long little trail. No side of the park I was going to. No side of the river. Oh, wow. Well, that was worth taking that for sure. Look what I can see out here. Lilies as far as the eye can see here. Wow, I am glad I came this way now. Hello, big bull ant. Man, they're big. Blasted ant. Just their pincers are the size of a normal ant. It's ridiculous. Well, this is interesting. Apparently, this area here is used to filtrate the water from the Georges River. So it takes water from the pump house near that little weir. Apparently that is a weir we walked over. There you go. Into the first wetlands, second wetlands, third wetlands, and back to the Georges River. That is actually really pretty. Who knew that was in the middle of Liverpool City Council's area, huh? It's almost as nice as the ones we saw up in the Northern Territory. Of the huge lilies here. Absolutely fantastic, that. For reference, this area is called the Riverside Park. Technically there's an actual park just up ahead, so I would include this area as being the Riverside Park as well. If you want to come check it out, that's what it's called. And this park, Riverside Park baseball court. There's the baseball pitch just here. And this facility must be quite new, it looks well maintained. Canteen over here. Just walking through the fields, and I believe this would be a bird's nest. It's fallen out of a nearby tree. There's a seat here. I'm gonna sit on it for 5 at the edge of this parklands here. There's a lot of industrial buildings and warehousing, as you can see this way. And I'm sure you can hear behind me the noisy trucks on the road. They should be going along Henry Lawson Drive, which is not too far from here as well. Well, from here, I have a 35-minute walk through back streets to get back to my car. So I won't bore you with that. Instead, I will give my review on this walk. First off, we'll start by saying one of the better walks I've been on. The paths were decent, the area was well maintained. They were out there cutting the grass even today. Excuse me, there's a truck going past. Anyway, I would suggest you stop near Heron Park and go across the fields towards where Bay Road crosses with Riverside Road. I think that would be a good stopping point for most people, or turn around at the end of the asphalt path and go back towards the homestead. Very nice, and good to see some of the history of the area as well. They have it well maintained. It is sectioned off, so you cannot trespass, but you can still see the homestead. There's a few artifacts out on the lawn, that kind of thing. Learning a little bit about the native people of the area here as well. It's really cool to see how all these rivers around the area, or the Georges River really, all connect through the parklands and reserves near Liverpool. It's cool to see it around here. They have tried in some degree to facilitate the southwestern Sydney's need for like beaches and water, because we're a good hour away from the actual ocean here. The facilities in the area, however, could use a little bit of refurbishment, a little bit of update, a little bit more care, especially with the tables and chairs. I think in some areas we're lacking. So if you're looking for a cool outdoor adventure here in Chipping Norton, or if you live in the Liverpool City Council's area and want to drive out here to give the track a try, I would recommend it. It was a nice walk. Get out here and check it out. And if there are any great walking tracks in your local area, leave them in the comments below. Anyway, thanks for joining me on this adventure here today. Please like, comment and subscribe to Dan Ventures Out to see more from me, and I'll catch you guys the next time we venture out.